Happy Tandy. I'm Ken. This is Canadian Retro Things. It's time for another top 5 list. What I'm going to look at today is the top 5 most impressive games, at least in my opinion, currently available on the color computer. So, let's fire up the color computer and take a look at them. Starting off at number 5, we have Robotron 2084, a transcode version by Glenn Hewlett. This, like the arcade version, is a twin-stick shooter, so you need 2 joysticks. One in the left port, one in the right port. One controls your movement, one controls your direction of fire. Now, if you've heard me talk about this game before, you know that I absolutely love Robotron. So you may be asking yourself, why is this not number 1? Well, the only reason it's not number 1 is because it is not quite finished. It is about 95% finished. So you hit 5 to put some credits in, and 1 to start the game. One thing I should mention about these games is that they are all running on the Color Computer 3 with a minimum of 512K of memory. And it, just like the arcade version, is hard. So, even though it's not finished, the actual gameplay is pretty much there. It has a couple of little visual glitches and whatnot, but it is perfectly playable and highly recommended. But as I said, you do need 2 joysticks. Coming in at number 4 is the transcode version of Pac Man from Glenn Hewlett. Now, this is another arcade version of Pac Man. Another arcade version of a game, and this one's Pac Man. Now, you'll notice that it doesn't all fit on the screen. And that is the reason that this comes in at number 4. Hit 5 to enter some credits, and 1 to start a 1-player game. So, the reason that this comes in at number 4, and I am a big Pac Man fan, is that it doesn't all fit on the screen, so the screen has to scroll. But it definitely plays really, really well. And you certainly, to play an arcade version of Pac Man on a color computer, with a little bit of scrolling is something you can get used to. And I haven't played it for a while, so yeah, I'm not doing very well, but I missed my up. So yes, definitely Pac Man, a game to check out and play if you were a fan of it in the arcade and you're a fan of other versions of it, then this is one to check out. And coming in at number 3 is Sockmaster's Donkey Kong. This is a great version of Donkey Kong. It is the arcade version of Donkey Kong. The only minor gripe that I have with this one is that the sound is a little bit crunchy on it. It's not arcade perfect sound. But, you know, it is the color computer I think they did an amazing job with this. If you've ever played the actual arcade version, then yeah, you will know what you're getting into with this. And one thing about it is I'm not very good at the arcade version, and I'm not very good at this version. For me, mostly I played Donkey Kong on the ColecoVision, so I'm very good at that version. Arcade version, not so much. There is also a remix version of this that can give you the levels in a different order, so you can play that, but I like the original, so. And yeah, I'm not very good at it. But this was the first of these arcade transcode versions that I came into contact with, so it really impressed me when I first saw this game, so, and it still does. Am I going to? Yes! Woohoo! Bye-bye, Donkey Kong! So yes, Donkey Kong, definitely worth playing on the Color Computer 3. And coming in at number 2 is Joust, another transcode version by Glenn Hewlett. This isn't just good for one player. If you have a friend and a second joystick, you can play the head-to-head version. It is just like the arcade. And like many of the other games, you hit 5 to enter some credits, and 1 or 2 for the number of players that you have. Oop, that is the wrong joystick. There, that's the right joystick. Yes, this is the arcade version of Joust, and yeah, it is a heck of a lot of fun to play. I've actually been practicing at this one, and I'm a bit better at it than I ever was at the actual arcade game. Except I died there. So if you are a fan of Joust, yes, definitely pick this up, play it, get a friend, play head-to-head. It is well worth it. And coming in at number 1 is Defender, another transcode version by Glenn Hewlett. Now, I did not choose this game because Defender is my all-time favorite arcade game or anything like that. I chose this game because I think Defender is one of the most iconic arcade games. The sound in particular. Whenever you walked into an arcade back in the 80s, the first thing you would recognize is the sound of the Defender machine. And that is pure nostalgia for me. And this version is awesome. So, let's take a look at it. Now, one thing about this game is that it is as complicated to play as the arcade game because it uses 7 keys. And you cannot use a joystick for this. So you've got your fire button, your up and down. Oops. And I just died. Your thrust. So, and then a change direction button. Wow. And by the way, did I tell you that I really sucked at this game when I was a kid? And apparently, I still do. And then, of course, you've got your hyperspace and your smart bomb keys. Let's use a smart bomb here just to kill him. Kill those guys with a smart bomb, and we're on to the second wave. Oops, I killed my guy. Yes, so this is a really, really excellent version of Defender, and yeah. One amazing thing about this, of course, is that having these games on the color computer, if you had a number of color computers all going at once and you cranked up the volume, well, you could make it sound just like an old arcade in your house. Now, I don't have 5 different color computers that I could play on here, but perhaps what I'll do right now is I will overlay all the sounds from the different games, and let's see if it sounds like a good old-fashioned arcade. Ah, yes, the sounds of all of those games going really brings back memories. Making your house sound like an arcade with the Color Computer 3. There we go. That is 5 really quite amazing games on the Color Computer that really, really show off what is actually capable with that machine. Now, they are all fairly new games. I think that if those games had been around back when the Color Computer 3 was new, then it never would have gone out of production. There would have been a Color Computer 4, a Color Computer 5. Heck, we may still be playing on the Radio Shack color computers if those had been around back then. But, alas, they weren't, and we have them now to play. So if you're looking for a reason to get back into the Color Computer, then, trying out these games is certainly a good reason to do that. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what you can do with the liking, the subscribing, and the commenting below, because anything and everything you do is always greatly appreciated. But I guess happy Tandy, and I will see you in the next video.